Welcome back, and now for part 2. But first, a word from our sponsors. As featured on YouTube's Captain and Cat Captain's Corner, your child or student's heart will grow with the stories in Bagette's Balloon, a sweet adventure about kindness and the gift of giving. Perfect for ages 3 to 8, it gently introduces empathy, diversity, and real-life themes like aging, disability, allergies, and caring for our environment. Kids love spotting the color-changing balloon and joining the search for Bagette's lost cat. Comes with the Magic of Smiles stickers, free downloadable kindness crafts and activities that will always be free in Bagette's Kindness Creative Lab. These make learning kindness fun, doable, and easy to fit into everyday play just like any other favorite activity. Features hand-drawn illustrations created without AI. Every page is filled with warmth and originality. Join the kindness mission and see how far a single act of kindness can travel. Visit Bagette.com, and that's BAJETTE.com, to access the book, kindness shirts, gallery, reviews, and always free activities in the Kindness Creative Lab. If you have a kindness idea or story, write to giving@Bagette.com to win a premium edition of Bagette's Balloon. You can really tell that this book was made with a lot of love. Get Bagette's Balloon. Ghosty Willow is non-corporeal, but she has a memory of who she is. Xander doesn't know who he is. It's humorous when Buffy faints and when she thinks the car is a demon. She doesn't even know her name. Sarah, Nick, and Allie have expert comic timing. Buffy says she's from 1775. Essentially, she's the gal from the picture. This episode epitomizes the old adage, be careful what you wish for. Buffy had expressed that for just a little while she'd love to be a girl who thinks about nothing but gowns, looking pretty, romance, balls, twiddle diddles. Not those kind of balls. No. She wants to be a princess. She also wants to be like the girl in the drawing because she thinks Angel will like her more. Xander's gun turns into a real firearm. Spoiler alert. Yep. Xander's soldier experience and military knowledge is referenced several times in the series, most notably in Innocence and Graduation Day Part 2. Willow catches Cordy up and is relieved when she remembers everything. Cordelia says she was attacked by Jojo, the dog-faced boy. Do you know what that refers to?
No, I don't.
Jojo, the dog-faced boy, was one of the many curiosities exhibited by showman and circus owner P.T. Barnum. It's disturbing that they did that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for a number of people, it was the only way for them to make money. And even that wasn't much to get by on.
I think they were very mistreated as well.
Absolutely.
Since I foretold that all would be switching, Spike is out this Hallows Eve, enjoying the mayhem. True. He has great underlighting, horror lighting when we first see him out and about. By the way, do you know why we don't get out on Halloween?
No. Why?
We'd have to travel on blood vessels. He.
Sid strikes again.
Can we have a third strike rule? Maybe we need to employ that. Buffy's behavior is a commentary on women's roles, on the roles assigned to them, on what they were and were not allowed to do, on the value being placed on looks and status, the age of enlightenment not being particularly enlightened in this regard. As Willow says earlier, she'd rather be able to vote when she's old enough. Xander is very Bruce Willis, a la Die Hard, in his scene with Buffy in the house.
Absolutely.
Giles and Willow piece together that those who got their costumes at Party Town didn't change like those that went to the new place, Ethan's. I especially like when Spike talks to the demon child.
Yes.
As I told, he can get to Buzzy while her powers are missing. Giles says it's the division of self. Giles and Ethan have a reunion. Ethan calls him Ripper for the first time. We start to see that Ethan and Giles are divided and may be two sides of the same coin. Division of self is a big part of this Halloween episode. As Buffy said, it's come as you are at night. She wants to be normal. She solely wants to be seen as the desirable girl. She wants to shun the Slayer part of herself. On one hand, Willow wants attention. She has wanted Xander's attention, but recently she moved past that. She wants people to see her and yet is uncomfortable with that and wants to remain hidden or invisible. Her two costumes show the duality. They show both sides of her conflicting desires. Xander says beating up the pirate gave him closure because he wanted to stand up for himself and beat up Larry. He has anxiety about not being attractive, about not being masculine. His costume personifies the brave and masculine side of him. I think this raises a compelling point. It's always been the same. Our roles in high school are not based on what we're capable of. They are assigned to us by our families, our classmates, and our teachers. They also exhibit how we feel about ourselves, or have been made to feel about ourselves, what we've taken in, not who we truly are. Often, if our true natures have been suppressed, we discover our authentic selves later in life. I'm finally fulfilling what I saw in the stars long ago. Now that I've become a global and galactic superstar, from podcasting, singing, and DJing, I'll endeavor to tell you about my newest endeavor. Oh, soon. So be it. I've risen from scorched earth to fertile forests. No more dandelion desires. Purple and puce blossoms abound. That is quite beautiful, Drusilla. Touching.
I'm glad you're growing.
Me too. Is this new venture your psychic network? Yes. Spoiler alert. No, we've recorded an ad and you already launched it on our feed. True, now that you mention the word feed. Drusilla, stay back. Focus on the task at hand.
Yes, this episode you can feed later.
Yep. When we are long gone. Gone. Absolutely. Okay, I am excited to continue the discussion.
Great.
You know what's fascinating about this episode, Drew? Over here, yep, the lighting embodies what is going on.
Yeah, the lighting in this episode is a little harsher. It's a little spookier. We have really strong spotlights on important moments, like on Cordelia, or we get to see her as being very innocent and separate from everybody else. Or even on Angel in the beginning when he's sitting and waiting to meet Buffy. So we're really drawn to important moments and then moodier moments for the rest of the piece.
The episode also personifies the admonishing phrase, "Be careful what you wish for." Do you know where the proverb, "Be careful what you wish for, lest it come true," originated? I do. Do you know, Sire Rebecca?
No, I don't.
Aesop's Fables. Do you know where the term wish fulfillment comes from?
Well, I was going to guess Arabian Nights.
Oh, that's a good guess. It actually was formally introduced by Sigmund Freud in his 1900 book, The Interpretation of Dreams. While the concept of wishes and their fulfillment has always been a part of the human experience, Freud was the first to define it as a core principle. Dunno. Giles's past is brought into question. This is the first episode that makes reference to a darker past.
Ripper indeed.
After the reveal of this, the music builds. You know, that music reminds me of Mo.
Mo?
Maurice Ravel. We used to frequent readings together in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. while he was at the Paris Conservatoire. That sounds fun. It was the cradle of French culture. Let's get back to Halloween culture. I would say that Spike leads an unlikely gathering. When they change back, the "I'm scared, I want my mommy" voiceover really made me laugh. As far as Halloween culture, do you know where the colors of orange and black come from?
No, I don't.
They trace back to the Celtic festival Samhain. The black represented the death of summer, while the orange symbolized the autumn harvest season. Do you know where the game of bobbing for apples comes from?
No, but I remember almost losing a couple of teeth trying to do it.
Oh,
Well, when they switched from bobbing for apples and they just had them hanging on a string because it seemed a lot cleaner, swinging your head about and trying to knock it into an apple is not a really good idea to try and keep all your teeth in your mouth.
oh my gosh. Watcher Dev is listening and he's cringing because he has a thing about teeth. And so I can see he's very uncomfortable even thinking about that. So
I
glad.
apologize.
I'm glad it was all safe and worked out ultimately. So the origins of bobbing for apples are rooted in love and romance. The game was a courting ritual, which seems kind of odd. It was part of a Roman festival honoring Pomona, the goddess of agriculture and abundance. Young men and women would predict their future relationships based on the game. When the Romans conquered the British Isles in 43 AD, the Pomona festival blended with Samhain. Speaking of love and romance, Buffy learns to embrace herself and stops wishing to be something else. This episode is empowering. She embraces who she is. She embraces her strength, her kick-ass nature.
She learns not only that Angel isn't interested in the noble women from his past, but that she is her own type of woman. She can be strong and feminine without sacrificing who she is.
Willow also embraces her freer, sexier side. She tosses the ghost sheet away and strides confidently. She embraces her power, her sensuality.
When she wakes and decides to not cover herself up, it's beautiful. She walks carrying herself with a new light. Even her walking by Oz, she doesn't care who's around. She has the sex appeal that Cordelia tries to exude, but naturally.
Yep. And Oz remarks, "Who is that girl?" which is exactly what he said on his very first sighting of her in Inca Mummy Girl. I know I've said it before, and I will, I'm sure, mention it again and again. Sarah and David have wonderful chemistry. Like us. Us? Spike us. Not us. Ah, that makes more sense. We could always have a quickie and see. No, thank you. Sorry, Rebecca.
I respectfully decline.
The note that Ethan leaves Giles lets us know that he will be back. A written spoiler alert. Yes. Something else interesting to consider is even the characters who aren't dressed up for Halloween are wearing a disguise, or at least they're not showing their full selves. We found out that Giles has a past that is different from how he presents. Oz shows his laid-back, attentive side. His other side is hidden, which we will discuss in the future. Dru has only shown us her vulnerable side. She dresses, I dress, in a white gown similar to Buffy's gown in Prophecy Girl. The Empire style exudes innocence. We've only seen a flash of Drusilla's violent, bestial side when she vamped out and bit Sheila in School Hard. Nom 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 nom.
We can tell Dru has depths to plumb from.
Yum, yum, plum. Myriad colors. Never tip your hand. No, or spill the beans. Or let the cat out of the bag. Unless you're hungry. Meow. And there are many themes explored in Halloween. Be careful what you wish for. Our desires are often divided. Longing to be different than you are. Accepting our authentic selves. Halloween misadventures. What do you relate to, Sire Rebecca?
Oh, for me, I think it's easy to second guess yourself when you're in a group, especially. We naturally compare ourselves and either want to blend in and conform as a way to survive, or we try to go in the opposite direction and overcompensate by being a bigger, less genuine version of ourselves. In elementary school, I went to Catholic school, so we had uniforms. So when I started high school, I had no idea how to dress for school, as it were. So I dressed to blend in, and I hid myself a lot. I knew the answers to questions and I didn't raise my hand. And it wasn't until my junior year that I finally got comfortable with myself and started exploring how I wanted to dress and basically who I wanted to be, and stopped caring as much about what everyone else thought.
It's so great that you came to that.
I figured I was going to stand out no matter what. So if you can't fit in, stand out and have a really good time doing it.
Ooh, that is the best advice. Didn't you also dress like Buffy at some point? 'Cause you felt like it reflected and spoke to who you were?
Absolutely. There was a nice transition into sweater sets and some really fun skirts, and I don't even wanna talk about how many pairs of shoes I still own to this day because of that.
So mine is a Halloween misadventure. When I was tiny, just 3 years old, my parents were shooting on Halloween. They had said that they would be home in time for trick-or-treating, but the schedule kept going over. They'd periodically call intermittently as the night wore on to tell me and my sister that they were still working. I was all dressed up as a ballerina in pink and was chomping at the bit to trick-or-treat. Finally, the phone rings for a sixth time. This time, my mom tells us that they finished, but it's gonna take longer because my dad is in costume and he has to change. She explains that we may not get too much time for the planned Halloween festivities. A brilliant solution strikes me and I say, oh, tell him to come straight home. He can wear his costume. It's Halloween. My mom says, oh, no, honey, he can't. And I say, why? Why? Why not? It's perfect. Tell him to wear his costume. My mom pauses for a really long time. The silence went on and on and on. It seemed endless. It turns out that my dad had been playing Hitler. He had the mustache, the slicked hair, the military pantaloons, the swastika armband. Our plan was to trick-or-treat in Beverly Hills, a very Jewish community, but I guess Hitler is equal opportunity offensive and evil. But can you imagine?
Oh, no.
It's one costume you just cannot wear. It makes me think of Mel Brooks's musical, The Producers.
I was just thinking that.
Right? So in this instance, I guess it would be springtime for Hitler in Beverly. Then the part that Mel sings, come and join the Nazi party. There goes Hitler. No, that's Marty.
Oh god, that's perfect.
Ooh, I love it. Singing. Come and join the Nazi party. There goes Hitler. No, that's Marty. Oh, no, somehow.
That hits really differently, doesn't
No,
it?
even more twisted from Drew. But isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I think, it was a very wise decision not to follow through on it.
What is the line of dialogue from this episode that you would get as a tattoo?
It's when Cordelia says,
Like a Care Bear with fangs?
Oh, that's a good one. I would pick when Buffy says to Willow,
I was late due to unscheduled slayage.
and Xander in the costume shop.
Do you mind, Buffy? I'm trying to repress.
I love that one. Mine is,
Do you love my insides? The parts you can't see?
and Spike's response,
Eyeballs to entrails, my sweet.
that was very romantic.
that was very romantic. Well, I guess if entrails can be romantic. Let's do the call out for contenders for the next battle of the Uber Buffy fans.
Let's get ready to Buffy!
If you want to be considered as a contender for this season's trivia battle, please email revampedpod@gmail.com. Yes, be sure to include your name, where you weigh in with your number of watch-throughs, where you're located, something interesting about you, or something you think would be good to share, and
your social media handles.
I'm excited to tell you about our Revamped with Juliet Landau podcast-sponsored Halloween
Online event with me.
and me.
Me and Drew, we're moving in.
Look at all the people. All these nice people. Yes, Drew, it's all the folks we're hanging out with on Halloween. We will be watching 2 classic Buffy episodes, School Hard and Halloween,
There will be interviews with me
and me,
and Todd McIntosh.
as well as an interview with Jerry Baker,
Makeup and hair department heads in honor of dressing up.
and an online cosplay contest judged by myself, Sire Rebecca.
And me.
The link for tickets is julietlandau.dreamhosters.com. You can come for 1 day or get the 2-day combo. I hope to see you there.
Enough of something extremely different.
So freshman year of college, I was as nervous as everyone starting off. And we had a writing teacher who was wonderfully over the top. Her name was Lisa, and she had this fiery red hair that was all just out in curls and frizzy. And she made every class exciting and
Ooh.
challenging. And I still remember her saying, I want you to vomit the words on the page. And it was the first time I'd ever heard anybody describe writing the way that she did. And it just felt freeing and satisfying. In high school and elementary school, they told us that when you get to college, there aren't any more classroom parties, so we're not going to do that anymore. So end of her class, she took us all out for this Indian feast and proceeded to kind of dance around the tables, talking to everybody all night. And to this day, Lisa Tulhurst, I still remember you, and I appreciate everything that you taught me.
Oh, I love that. Not necessarily the image of vomiting, but the idea of not editing yourself while you're working in a creative process. Because I think it's the same with any kind of creative process. You need to be free and explore, and then later you can put the editor and your cerebral cap on and streamline it and shape it and do all of that. But any kind of process, same thing with acting, the rehearsal process itself is about being messy at first and then it coming all together.
I think we're so used to planning things out and wanting our first time to be perfect that you lose so much when you overthink it and just vomiting out all of these ideas. And then from that, you can then like pick apart and find.
What's valuable?
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny. It makes me think of my acting teacher, Susan Peretz, who sadly has passed away. I loved her. She was a dear mentor and friend and teacher. She would sometimes say to me, act badly, act big and badly. And she said, your nature is that you never will go over the top. You're never going to go there. So by my saying that, I'm just opening you up for the freedom to, as they say, go big or go home, you know? And I found it very valuable and freeing.
It's funny that a lot of times we need permission from somebody in order to do that.
And then you learn to give yourself permission to do that.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 15, I moved away to study dance at North Carolina School of the Arts. I did double academics to graduate early so that I could start dancing professionally. I flew back to Los Angeles and I started taking classes with Mia Slavenska. Mia had been the prima ballerina with the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. She was considered very beautiful and was both technically proficient and expressive. She was a character. I met her when she was 75 or 80. She was tiny, and she also had this flame red hair. She would always wear tight white slacks, single-colored bright shirts, and sling-back high heels. This was her uniform. Right from the first class, I became her designated demonstrator. This meant that she would call out the exercises and I would demonstrate them for the class. This is the combination, this is the way it should be done, etc., etc. This would be for the bar and for the center as well. In the center, we would do adagios and then what is called going across the floor, dancing diagonally across the floor. My arrangement with Mia gave me hours of free classes a day. I did this at a dance studio in Los Angeles, and I also did it with a number of other teachers, and I drove to Valencia 3 times a week for Mia's classes at the college CalArts. At the start of every single class, Mia would say, "I don't feel so well today." Every single time, without fail. Then, as we were sweating profusely, working our butts off at the bar, she would turn to the mirror and spend a very long time scrutinizing her own face. She would pull the skin at her cheekbones, and then she'd walk around to each of us, always starting with me, and then ending with me, so I got the double dosage. Stretching her skin really tight, she'd say,
Do you think I should get a facelift?
and then we would work and work and work, and we'd be going across the floor. She'd sit at a chair in the front. She'd have me demonstrate, and to everyone else, she would watch and disparage. No, 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 with this look of disregard or disgust, really, that no one was dancing correctly. She'd ask me to do it again, and then she would lean back far in her chair and with this wistful expression, in this euphoric cadence, she would say,
Ah, yes. That reminds me of me when I was young.
caught in her narcissistic reverie of the past and not seeing me or any of us at all. And then, at the very end of each class, she would go back to,
One last thing. Do you think I should have a facelift?
Mia Slavenska. But she did teach me incredible technique.
Teachers often have very interesting and roundabout ways of teaching us the lessons that we really need to learn.
Interview with the vampire. This evening's vampire question.
Yes, mister.
What would you dress up as for Halloween this year? Even if you can't go out, it doesn't mean that you can't dress up.
I would dress like Minion Juliet, because then I could go out. But then I'd have to dress terribly. So no. What about you, Sire Rebecca?
Well, oftentimes I dress up at work. So I think this year I'm going to go as a final girl.
You mean the survivor at the end of horror movies?
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to flip through some of my favorite movies and maybe take a little bit of several different characters and put it all together.
So will you be bruised and covered in blood?
Oh, absolutely. There will be cuts. There will be ripped clothing. The hair will not be perfect at all and most likely matted with a bit of blood, but I will have survived.
A final girl. It's a tasty finale when I meet a final girl. They exude relief, and then they meet me. Yummy. Ooh. All right.
How about you?
I have dressed up in some really fun costumes, but often I don't. I think it's because I have a job where I get to dress up as different people all the time. Dressing up is the norm, the day in, the day out. For me, not dressing up is the holiday. Also on set, the crew often dresses up, which can be really fun. I loved your picks from last year on Poker Face. They were great.
It was a blast. Everybody dressed up as a character from that season. And so there was a lot of planning that went into it. And we definitely had a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Maybe we can share some of the photos on our Patreon.
Yeah, maybe we can.
Speaking of which, Revamptees, please correspond with me on Before We Go. Can we sing one from our Best of Revamped compilation? We don't have a Best of compilation. Not yet.
Is it my fave?
I'm going to sing it, then all together, and everyone listening join in.
I've had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before, and I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you, all together now. I've had
the
time of my life. No, I never felt this way before, and I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Good Drew. Boop boop be Drew. Revamptees, please correspond with me on our Patreon page, Revamped with Juliet Landau, Twitter @Juliet Landau, on Instagram @Juliet_Landau, and on the Fans of Juliet Landau Facebook group or Juliet Landau official Facebook page.
Until we meet again.
Yes, see you next time when we do it again. And until then, rewatch, revamp, reinvent, and be remarkable you. Patreon peeps to be read in the credits: Dave Hall, Fawny June Kendall, Daniel Harbour, Louise Brennan, Brandon Key, Cameron Burton, Donnie Ruskin, Madeline Pruitt, Marion Stevenson, Antonio H. Gutierrez, and Bobby Pelham. It makes all the difference because we cannot keep making the show without you. Thank you. Thank you so much.